What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 66 of the RUDIS Wrestling Podcast. Matt, we are done with Final X. Our world team is decided. You were there in Lincoln. What do you got to say for yourself?
Well, number one, I'm glad it's decided because I don't know if I can take another week of this. I mean, talk about 2 weekends of just phenomenal wrestling. I mean, it was amazing. I mean, this was some of the, sometimes, it's easy to get calloused when you've been around wrestling and high-level wrestling for so long. You take it for granted a little bit. But this wrestling yesterday and last weekend, holy smoke, man. Yeah. I mean, that was inspiring.
Absolutely.
It was inspiring.
Matt, I was even, you know what I was even thinking about doing? I was thinking that our next show, I don't know if that'll be later this week or early next week, our next show, we should even just discuss what Final X has become, the end of the year process, maybe even the whole domestic season. Because I know saw a lot of people saying, domestically, freestyle is as exciting as it's ever been. I think both the skill level is way up. I think a lot of guys on our second team could compete well at the world level, and then the whole Final X process, I think, has turned into something really fantastic and something that we enjoy watching, and really giving us 2 extra weekends of really, really high level wrestling that we're looking forward to. So I think we could spend a lot of the show on this, and maybe we do that on the next show.
Sure, that'd be great. I do want to shout out to Lincoln though and Nebraska. They again.
Well, Matt, you were probably one of the handful that was at both. What was better, Lincoln or Rutgers?
I think Rutgers was from an attendance standpoint, from an environment standpoint, but you really couldn't beat Lincoln. I mean, that's splitting hairs. I mean, obviously when you're on the East Coast and in the hub of the metropolitan area of New York City, I think you're going to draw more people, and it's easier. Mm-hmm. It was way more accessible for people to attend. So attendance was better at Rutgers for logical reasons, geographical reasons, but the crowd yesterday was absolutely phenomenal. The production value put on by Flow and USA Wrestling was great. I mean, they've really dialed it in. I mean, it was, I thought, phenomenal last year, but I thought it was even executed at a higher level at both events at the past 2 weekends. So, yeah, kudos to Final X, kudos to Lincoln. It was just, great atmosphere, and obviously, when you have the wrestling you're going to have a great atmosphere. I don't care if there's 5 people in the arena, but you pack, several thousand people in there, and especially, with the matches we had and the matches that went 3 matches and the hometown guy, Jordan Burroughs, getting pushed to 3.
Ooh,
I mean, there's so many things sprinkled in there that created just a magical atmosphere.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about it. What match you want to get into first?
Well, first off, I think what I'd like to do, and we didn't really touch on this much, but we did have 4 RUDIS athletes competing this weekend, and obviously, this is our platform, so I'm going to talk about our RUDIS athletes.
Let's pump them up.
Heck yeah! So, I mean, one, we've been getting tons of comments here from last week with Tamara, and this week with our athletes. Everybody wanted to know about their singlets because we did. Last
they were X. So listen, I'm not too much into X-Men, but I did like the one Sarah had on. Is that Wonder Woman? I'm guessing that's Wonder Woman.
You're definitely not into X-Men because
I got the wrong person.
You're truly not into Avengers. You're not even talking about the Avengers. We did the Avengers. Man.
So that should be a blooper episode or something. Okay, well, who is Sarah then? It looks like Wonder Woman to me.
Yeah, she was Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel.
I gotta look this up now. I don't even know what that is.
So funny story about she was she had a movie. She was in Endgame. But yeah, this little sidebar there to her singlet. Sarah was actually supposed to bust this out in Beat the Streets LA. Mm-hmm. And that was right before Captain Marvel debuted. Anyways, long story short there, the hotel lost her singlet. She was gonna break it out at Beat the Streets New York. She got a little dinged up, pulled out of Beat the Streets New York. So finally we were able to debut it here in Lincoln. So she was Captain Marvel.
Well, despite my non-knowledge of superheroes, that was my favorite one of all the singlets. I thought hers was the coolest.
Really?
Yeah, that was the one I liked the most.
Yeah, last week, we'll rewind a little bit. Tamara did Black Panther which we've got a ton of comments about her singlet as well. Nice. So back to Sarah. Sarah, she wrestled like Captain Marvel. Wrestled against a gritty veteran, Katherine Shai. Yep. And really tough battle, the first one. Obviously, they have history together. They're seasoned veterans. I think Katherine's about 30 years old. Sarah's 26. They battled a number of times. Tough first match, 4-0. And then she seemed to find her stride a little bit more. I know she wasn't satisfied. She's like any high-level competitor. She came off. I talked to her. She wasn't really happy. She'll take it. But she's like, hey, I got work to do in the next couple months.
I mean, I don't want to rain on your parade. She pitched a shutout. She won combined 11-0. What I don't understand what the issue is here.
Yeah, 4-0, 8-0. I mean, she looked dominant to me.
Okay, because you're making it sound like she had a rough go at it and just barely won. But she won by a combined score of 12-0 or 11-0. Man,
yeah,
dude,
but you know how
if I shut my opponent
around...
out twice, I'd feel good about that. I don't know if
I feel real good.
I've ever shut anyone out that was any good.
This is the second best woman in America, and she pitches a shutout both matches. Yeah, I mean that's just kind of splitting hairs there. So she wrestled amazing, making another world team, looking to step up that final rung on the ladder and claim gold this year. Kayla Miracle was Black Widow, with her singlet.
You're losing me on these superheroes. Yeah, I know my wrestlers, but I don't know my superheroes.
I don't know my superheroes as well. I'm a little bit more well-versed being at the company now and having the Marvel license. But she was Black Widow, another central character in the Avengers. And Kayla finally busted down the door. She had been, the alternate the last 2 years. Finally kicked down the door against a really tough competitor, Mallory Velte, world bronze medalist from last year, who had beaten Kayla last year at Final X. She avenges that, goes out, what was it, Tech 4-0. So she looked really dominant. She looked phenomenal. I mean, her leg attacks, her conditioning, her pace, her hand fighting, she just looked phenomenal. I mean, just truly, truly amazing.
Yeah.
So that was great to see.
I agree. So Matt, so RUDIS now has 3 of the 10 women on the women's world team this year. Those three, the three you just talked about. I mean, that's pretty fantastic for your first year of, really it's year 2 of sponsoring athletes, year 1 of sponsoring women's athletes, because you guys announced. When did you announce Sarah? Last fall?
Well, actually, just over a year. We didn't sign Kyle. Our first athlete was last April.
Oh, yeah.
So really, it's been
just over a year, not even year 2.
Just over a year.
Fantastic.
Jumped into the women's scene. We got 3 women on the team. We're really fired up. Yeah, and then obviously Kyle makes the team. Captain America.
Hey, Kyle looked great. I mean, Matt, especially in Matt 2, I never feel like I felt seeing Kyle so determined. It was just something about when he looked like, I want to finish this match. I want to finish this match now. And I've never really seen that look out of Kyle too much. That urgency to finish the match. He's always just game face into it. But man, he was really pressing, and he got Gads out of there fast. I mean, what was it, minute and a half, somewhere around there?
Yep.
I mean, it did not take him long.
I think Gadsden. He made the fatal flaw of actually trying to wrestle Kyle, I think. Because the first match, he was just... I mean, you can't fault a guy like that when he's probably understands he's outmatched. They have a history. He knows what he's getting up into. Yeah. That first match, I think he was just trying to shut Kyle down, which he did a pretty decent job of. It was 4-0. I mean, Kyle... and then I think he made the fatal flaw of actually coming after Kyle, and actually not coming after him, but actually trying to wrestle with him. And when you do that with a guy like that, Kyle has shown. I know people have been wondering. We haven't really seen him domestically that much, but you've shown he showed the areas of improvement that he's made from the World Championships a year ago.
Yeah, one of the things I saw him do, and you know what, I saw this in I think 3 or 4 guys used some version of it, but a pancake is making its comeback, Matt. I mean, I think I saw 3 or 4 people use, like I said, some type of version of the pancake yesterday, which was kind of That was mind blowing to me. I couldn't
We had
believe I couldn't believe what I saw.
a Gilman with a pancake. I don't think he scored on that one. Who else? There was like 3 or 4.
Well, Joe Cologne was doing
Yeah.
a version of it where he went over the head and put Graff right to his back. He actually did it twice in the first match. He only got points for it once because the referees missed it. I want to say Gilman got one too. I think Gilman got one.
Know he
and
was
then
after,
Burroughs was using it against Imar.
Yeah.
So yeah, the pancake making a comeback. That hasn't been a real move in years.
I guess we have a new technique to include in the new in the new technique.
Yeah, so that would be under
pancakes.
Shot defense. Well, what they're doing, they're going. I mean, at least Burroughs, they're going hard the one way, like unhooked a pancake, and then they're doing like a smack back down and then trying to run the corner on the other side. If it doesn't work, it's really kind of a nice 1-2 combo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, some good stuff. So Kyle. Anyways, we'll do our fashion rundown. Kyle was in his Captain America singlet from Endgame, and Isaiah was in Venom. So we're working on some things. We've had a lot of comments, people asking, are
when's the Drago singlet coming?
We're trying to actually incorporate. We're trying to figure out how do you incorporate Rocky. You
need to sign a Russian, Matt. That's what you need to do, and make him Drago.
We should.
You really should.
Yeah. There's a couple ideas.
I mean, you could go ahead and sign Sadulayev and do Rocky versus Drago in
real life version.
Madison Square Garden or something. That would be so outstanding.
That would be awesome.
And then you could throw Jaden in there as Apollo Creed. Boom! Look at that.
Yeah.
I made a series of Rocky movies.
There's a dream. There's the next. There's the next Rocky movie.
I love it.
So let's jump back into we've got so much to talk about here.
Okay.
Still.
Which match do you want to start with? I had a lot of fun watching this. Okay, let's just start with the two that I'm least interested in of the men's freestyle matches. James Green, Ryan Deakin, match 1. I wonder if that's a record for a World Team Trials Finals. An 18-second tech fall, single leg, lace, boom, done. Second match.
I mean, the review took longer than the match itself.
Oh yeah.
They actually had to review the first match.
Why did they have to review that? That was a bitter brick, wasn't it?
It was that bitter brick. They were hoping he got just three laces before he went out of bounds instead of 4.
It was kind of obvious though.
They wanted to make sure they had it correct, but it was pretty obvious to the point where the entire crowd was chanting 1, 2, 3, 4. The number.
Were they really? I couldn't hear that.
Yeah.
That is funny.
They didn't even signal. They just everybody was watching the big screen. They saw it. The crowd was chanting 1, 2, 3, 4, and both guys just went to center, shook hands, and walked off the mat. So
funny. Okay,
it's got to be a record tech fall though. 18
gotta
seconds.
Be in the trials found it has to be. That was impressive. Deakin slows James Green down in match 2, but James still gets the better of him. I thought James looked really good. I don't know.
I mean, I almost think the U.S. Open was the best thing for James Green. It looked
getting upset like that, kind of getting woke up.
It just lit a fire under his butt, man.
Yeah.
I thought that was actually. In hindsight, you look at losses at times and say that was actually a good loss in retrospect, and I thought that was a great loss for him to take. It just seemed to center him, seemed to focus him, seemed to reignite. I don't think the fire was out, but it fanned the flames more than anything. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't know that I'm willing to say he's one of our best chances for a medal. I think he looked good, but obviously he's.
I mean, how can you argue
before.
Against that though? Yeah, I mean he's medaled a couple times.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. You talk me out of it. Let's go for a medal for James
okay.
Green. All right. Tyler Graff, Joe Cologne. Someone was saying that Reese Humphrey should get damn Coach of the Year or something for getting Downey to where he's at, and Tyler Graff has never ever gotten over the hump in a big tournament, and he got over it in a major way yesterday. Really dominated matches 2 and 3 against Joe Cologne, who is a world bronze medalist, who just beat Bone Rodriguez last month. Man, a huge win for him. He looked great.
I mean, really phenomenal. And you got to be happy for a guy like this. I mean, if you could give the Speech of the Night award, his post-match speech, and I typically feel bad for athletes that have to give an interview in the moment, like literally 10 seconds after they wrestle a match, and they're on camera and in front of an entire crowd trying to come up with something, intelligent to say. But his post-match speech, talk about a battle of perseverance. The guy's 30 years old. He's been knocking on the door.
Knocking on the door at everything, Matt.
At everything. And this was his first World Trials Finals appearance, right?
Yes.
This is the first Finals appearance. And so to have that level of persistence, commitment, and the level, his attitude of gratefulness, his appreciation for everyone, his experiences, his support team, everyone around him, it just resonated with the entire crowd. So it was, I know we don't like to get warm and fuzzy about wrestling.
It's all right to get warm and fuzzy sometimes. I'm good with that.
It was a really cool moment, and I was really happy for the guy, and he deserved it. He wrestled his freaking butt off, man. Yeah. He wrestled his tail off, and was just great to see. And he earned it. The good thing is, he went out and beat a world medalist. People can say what they want about his appearance on the team. Hey, he earned it. He earned it. He deserved it, and he took it. So all credit to him, to Tyler Graff, and good luck to him at the World Championships. Hopefully he can continue on this phenomenal run. And I'm with you. For Reese and the New Jersey RTC to have 2 world team members, phenomenal.
Huge.
It's great to see. It's great to see other regional training centers have multiple successes. We've seen a lot of regional training centers have individual success by placing a person on the team, but to see what you would say is maybe one of the more non-traditional traditional regional training centers, or
Matt, but now as good as as good as Rutgers is getting, Princeton is getting better. Obviously, we know who's funding them, so they have a huge amount of funding. I kind of think that's, when you're looking at RTC, because I work for an RTC, one of the biggest things is funding, because you got to bring those best guys in. You got to have the funding, and like Badgers RTC, we're scrapping by. We did really good in year 1, but we're we got a bunch of athletes, but when you look at those top athletes and what they cost, it's a lot of money. So to have New Jersey RTC's got a whole bunch of them, and they have a lot of good funding. So that's a big part of it also. So I would say yes. I would think they're going to be an emerging power with the amount of funding and the coaching that they have.
Yeah. So great job, our Reese Humphreys, placing 2 guys on the world team. Just a phenomenal effort. And I don't think this is really the case, but I think it's something worth pointing out that we should be fans. This time of year, we're just fans of the United States, which I love. We can all come together. I think the rivalries during the college season.
I got an argument with James Green on Twitter on this one.
Oh, really?
He said I have to cheer for Pat Downey, and I said, no, I don't. I said I'll cheer for whoever the hell I want to, and it's listen, likely most of the time I get to cheer for most of the Americans that like them, but I'm not going to cheer against them. I'm not going to cheer for the Russian over the American, but I'll just say, I'll be neutral. I'm not like a huge fan of this guy, so I'll just pass. So I think that's okay. I think we should have the right to cheer for whoever we want.
That's your prerogative. That's definitely your prerogative. But I think in general, I don't think you would never cross the line and wish ill of someone or hope that he gets beat, right? But you just wouldn't cheer for him.
Me. Yeah, that's too bitter for me.
Yeah.
But I'm just whatever. I'm not gonna watch that weight class as closely or what. Even there's guys that are my favorites too. I'm gonna watch every match at that weight class. I'm not gonna miss one there.
But I guess all I was saying, I love the beauty of the college season where we just get to really ignite the rivalries in college. Whatever it is, just the rivalries. I love to talk about them. I love to see them. But I also love this period of the year where we're just talking about our country. And for the next couple months, we come together as a wrestling community to talk about what we have to do to win world titles in men's freestyle, women's wrestling, and Greco. And I think it's great that we acknowledge and support all the great effort by these regional training centers and the successes they are having. So I heard a few comments, like people cheering again. I'm like, these are Americans, man. Put your allegiances aside. They're not wrestling. Yeah, they may be training out of a certain locale, but really, it's just great to see the best American team come together. And wherever it comes from, I'm a fan of it.
Do you think the number 2s and 3s and 4s are cheering for their guys at their weight class to get medals, or no?
I would hope so.
But then they have a tougher time to make the Olympic team.
I know,
maybe they cheer for them to make.
But if it's
it's top 5 or top 7 qualify for the Olympics.
Just qualify the weight. Maybe like
they're cheering for that.
Weight, top 5.
Don't get a medal.
Let's get 5th. Let's go 5th.
Oh my goodness, Matt. AI is watching me. I searched Captain Marvel 5 seconds ago because I wanted to see what Sarah Hildebrandt, who she was, and Captain Marvel advertisement pops up on my computer. Jeez Louise, AI. Okay, let's get to our favorite matches. You want to go Burroughs Martínez first, or you want to go Fix Gilman first?
Jeez, holy cow!
They were both awesome. I mean, they're both just awesome.
You pick.
Okay, let's go Burroughs. I'm gonna eat some crow. I didn't think that Isaiah could stay this close. Honestly, I thought the Isaiah Martínez Burroughs match would look a lot like match 3 did, but match 1 and 2 obviously proved me way wrong. I was very impressed by Isaiah Martínez. I am also left to wonder. There was the weigh-in situation. If the weigh-in had anything to do with his performances, because he kind of looked a little flat early on and then got some steam ahead of him. Maybe as he gets farther and farther away from weigh-ins, he recovers a little more. But yeah.
So the discussion and the conversation starts before the matches even occur, because some people, I know Flo was airing the weigh-ins.
Yeah.
And so everybody kind of saw Burroughs stepped on the scale. He was a couple tenths over, not 0.2 kilos over. It was 0.2 pounds, which is a big difference, a half pound to 2/10 of a pound.
Yes.
So he had a half hour to make weight after that.
They said 15 minutes on Twitter.
Or 15 minutes, was it?
Which I was shocked. Really... I didn't know it was that short.
And to be honest with you, I'm a huge fan of wrestling. I'm not a huge fan of watching weigh-ins, so I didn't really.
I do not know the weigh-in rules.
I don't really know the weigh-in rules. I do know there's some people in the room that I had talked to that kind of witnessed it, had a first-hand account. But yeah, I mean, the weight cut definitely affected him. Yeah. Whether he was overweight and
So he must really be sucking weight to get down there. And, obviously in that last bit, there's no way you're going to get a sweat started in 15 minutes. That's pretty impossible. So,
and we talked about this before we jumped on the air, and most athletes are very similar. They try and do their weight cut, their final weight cut in one final effort. Yes. Once you get your body heated up and sweating, most of these guys when you get sucked down to your weight class, you've just got to keep that sweat going, because once it stops, it's really, really hard. Like, most people don't realize that once you get down to weight, it was almost probably darn near impossible for Burroughs to get a sweat started in 15 minutes, because he had cooled his body down. Absolutely he had stopped his cut. He thought he was good, and then he was like, okay, I'm good. I'm going to cool down. So he cooled down, and his body couldn't get heated back up.
Yeah.
So I think it definitely had an impact. There's without a doubt. And I don't want to take away from Isaiah's performance, because he was absolutely phenomenal. But you know what? That's on Burroughs. I mean, he's a veteran. He's got 9 world teams under his belt now. Like,
this is the first year with the new double weigh-in, hour of weigh-in rules. Correct? It's got to be. It is. Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Now.
Okay. I want to say from a technical. Okay. Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, from a technical perspective, I was super impressed with how Isaiah was able to drop in really the first match, drop in the leg and then essentially come up to an underhook and put, I think he got 3 push-outs in a row from that. I mean, that was super impressive, how he was able to just get to that position over and over and over again. I definitely didn't see that one coming. Obviously, Burroughs didn't see it coming because he gave up 3 times in a row. That was kind of shocking.
Okay. I want to step back to the weigh-ins.
Okay.
I'm going to introduce something, and I'm not about rumor or gossip or anything. I think there's too much good stuff to talk about, but I do have on good authority, and I do want to preface number one, huge fan of Jordan Burroughs, one of the greatest ever. Arguably, some people might say he's the greatest ever, and he might go down. I have a ton of respect and admiration for him. I think I can't say enough good things about him. But I did have a number of people tell me on good authority, and this is not just rumor, who are in the room said he actually didn't make weight.
So who gave him the final go ahead then?
I don't know. They just said you're good. I don't know
who said good.
Okay.
Who was the guy that said good?
I'm not sure.
I didn't watch the weigh-ins,
They weren't
man.
sure about that, and I didn't. But I talked to a couple, and I'm not saying
there has to
on
be.
good
What do
authority.
they call it?
Like
They actually call him a UWW weigh master, right? So who was the guy?
There has to be a weigh-in. I'm not sure. I wasn't in it, and I just spoke to people. And again, I'm not one of these guys that jumps on Forbes and says I'm the authority guy. I'm on good authority. I do have people that I spoke directly to that said he did not make weight.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, but if he's that close, and I know we could split hairs and go round and round on the conversation, and I don't want to talk about it too much, but the first opponent you have to beat is the scale, right? You have to make weight.
Yeah. You've
done it your whole life.
That was Patrick Downey's only opponent last weekend.
Well, and again, this is kind of makes it a conversation piece because they actually made Pat Downey make weight.
Yeah.
Right? They made him make weight without an opponent. Now, I don't know what they would have done if he didn't make weight. But the fact of the matter is, he had to make weight without an opponent. So it's an integral part of the sport. You make weight classes. You get down to scratch weight and you wrestle. Now, a lot of people would say, it's a tenth, it's 2/10. Well, is it scratch weight? You got to make scratch weight. There's no allowances here, right?
That would have been so bizarre. Have we ever had anyone miss weight at Final World Team Trials? Well, obviously they've never had a Final World Team Trials except for this year and last year, like Final X, where it's just two people, right? It's always been the tournament.
And this is the first year with 2 hour before weigh-in too.
Yeah.
Typically it's a day before, so we've never really had to worry about that too much. But yeah, I don't know if you have any thoughts about that. I mean, I'm sure you don't feel that comfortable. I'm actually there.
Yeah, I'm not there. I'm actually reading through I went to the Matt forums while we were on here, which there's not a lot of great information on there. There's kind of a lot of dopes on there, but yeah, I mean they're all saying something similar, like how do you make weight, blah 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 blah. Someone said he was 2 pounds, not 2 pounds under in the morning. So yeah, I guess yeah, let's get off it. I want to talk about the wrestling. Okay, so first match, Matt. Jordan comes back and ties it 3-3. They get a push-out situation. And I thought it was clear Isaiah Martínez 1 point. They give it to Jordan. They went and review. It goes Isaiah Martínez point. And there's, 18 seconds left?
Yep.
And Isaiah's got shoved down for 18 seconds. And Burroughs does what Burroughs always does. And he finds a way to get a takedown with 18 seconds left. Damn.
That's what's
impressive.
That's just what's phenomenal about the guy, right? Mm-hmm. Is so many people are like, oh man, Isaiah had it. You know how many other people, not only in our country but around the world, can say they almost had this guy and he scored on them with 10 seconds to go? Just ask Franklin Gomez last month or 2 months ago, right?
Absolutely.
Ask a laundry list of guys. Like he is. I've never seen a guy be able to score points like will himself to score points in such a short period of time.
Yep.
Never seen. I can't remember anybody. I can recall matches where guys pulled it out or did this and that, but
never so regularly. I can't think of anyone who's done it so regularly. I mean, it seems like it happens all the time. Yeah.
And it just, I don't know. This goes back into coaching, match preparation. Mm-hmm. And I think the men from Illinois did a phenomenal job preparing Isaiah. This is the best version we've seen. Definitely improved. Definitely better.
Yes.
But in my head, and I'm sitting in the stands, with Jesse, and we're breaking down the match as it's going on.
Oh, Jesse went?
And Jesse went, yeah.
Oh,
so with 20 seconds to go, I'm like, Jess, it's on now. It's on. Like Isaiah had better. Hopefully they have an execution plan for the last 20 seconds because that's when Burroughs makes his hay.
You can't really have it, Matt. He's just so good. It's hard to have an execution plan. And it's not like he's got one. It's not like he's got one move. He's just he has so many moves to hit you with. So having an execution plan for the last 20 is just like, it's almost just like he just overwhelms you sometimes. I mean, I can't remember the exact sequence right now, But I know it wasn't his first go. It wasn't like he did one shot and got it. It was a multi attack piece that made him get it.
Because typically what he does an extreme level change, almost like a double knee drop to the mat. Typically he explodes off that, and he almost uses that as a setup. Because he's going to get you out of position. He explodes so hard. I don't know. He'll take the double if it's there and get it. But if he doesn't get it, you're going to have a big reaction, which typically opens up to another reattack on his part. And that's what he did. I mean,
outstanding. Okay, match 2. Imar comes out and gets it done. Really, in my opinion, looks great start to finish. Burroughs came back a little bit at the end, but
and this is where I really thought match 2. I thought you saw the adverse effects of the weight cut in Matt 1. Match 2, I think it definitely reared its head. Yes. I've never seen Jordan that flat-footed.
Yes, absolutely.
But I think it's also to the testament the heat that Isaiah was bringing. He wasn't just bringing heat. I mean, he physically beat Burroughs up. He physically beat him up for three matches, or 2 for sure. And so I don't want to take that away from Isaiah, because he's the one that was imposing his will and his physicality onto Jordan. But I think it got him to the point where Burroughs was just flat-footed. He couldn't even move. I've never seen it, and to the point where he hit that double to a reattack, and when Isaiah got the reattack.
Beautiful reattack.
Burroughs just laid flat and just gave up a leg lace. Yeah. I've never seen him just stop wrestling, and he just stopped wrestling.
Yeah, that was a fantastic leg lace. Take down a leg lace combination, put him up 6-3. And like I said, Burroughs came back a little bit late, but it wasn't enough. And that's a huge win for Isaiah Martínez. He hasn't had that win against the really high level world guy. That's it for him. So kind of looking really good going into match 3, but match 3 just from the jump street, Burroughs was on him and just scored and pressured and scored and pressured and built a really, essentially a 7-0 lead, which was at that point kind of insurmountable.
Yeah, after the first minute, I think after the first 2 scoring sequences, I really thought the match was probably out of reach for Isaiah. And I think match 3 definitely highlighted the experience, the veteran experience of Jordan Burroughs, and the inexperience of Isaiah being in that one and done situation. Yeah. I thought Jordan came out, he was very focused. He looked like he was controlling that situation much better than Isaiah. Isaiah seemed to be forcing things a little bit, which you don't, that's the last thing you want to do against Burroughs is force anything.
Yep.
And I think he just kind of forced some stuff. Jordan came out and got it done. What can you say?
Yeah, I agree. It looks great. Was fired up. Vintage Jordan Burroughs. We've seen it happen before. And man, now with Isaiah asserting himself, that for me that makes 74 all that much more interesting. Obviously, James Green is going to bump up. Kyle Dake is going to come down. Who knows about, say, a Mark Hall or Zahid or Dieringer? I think they're all going up, but we don't know. Man, that makes that a whole lot of fun.
And I think with Burroughs, it's got to be I wouldn't say a big sigh of relief. I think he believed he was going to get it done. I don't think he believed he was going to get pushed the extent, but it's in some way. Do you think in the back recesses of his mind, he's thinking, how am I going to keep all these guys at bay for another year? Another year.
Another year.
Because 9 years.
Well, if he can go get a medal, then he can let them all beat themselves up, and then one of them gets to wrestle him.
Yeah, not like he needs any more incentive to go win a medal at the Worlds, but he can make his life a whole heck of a lot easier. Eliminate everybody but one going into next year. And that's going to be a fun conversation between the stylistic matchups between Burroughs and Dake, Dake and Isaiah, Isaiah and Burroughs, Isaiah and Dake. That dynamic, and then you sprinkle other guys in there. I think that's going to be a lot of fun to discuss leading up to it. But 9 world teams in a row.
Who's made more? Bruce Baumgartner, I'm guessing.
I would say Bruce is the only one.
Yeah, it's the only one. Well, they said he's number 2 now. I wanted Bruce to be
Bruce
like 14 or something.
Yeah, I was going to say like 46. I thought he made it 46. From age 12 to 57 or something like that. It just seemed like. But
that's good. That's funny. That was cold. That was funny. Oh, man. Okay, last match we're going to discuss of the night this was not the last match tonight. It was great, though. Daton Fix, Thomas Gilman. And really, Matt, this was kind of almost the opposite of the last series, where after match 1, Fix gave him a beatdown in match 1. I was like, holy moly, Fix jumped levels again. This isn't going to be competitive. He's going to win 2-0. He's going to kind of blow him out again. Because in match 1, he won everywhere. He got a turn. He got an offensive takedown. He got a defensive takedown. He just kind of controlled everything in match 1. Match 2, Gilman comes back.
He just kicked his butt.
He kicked his butt. It was ugly.
Yeah.
Match 2, then Gilman comes back, kind of slows everything down. Gets a 3-2 win with the takedown in the second period. And you're thinking, oh shoot, can Gilman do that again, or is Fix gonna get going? And match 3 was awesome. Really, I guess I was shocked.
All right, I want to jump in. I want to jump into match 2 a little bit.
Okay.
Because I want you. I know this is gonna pain you. I know this will pain you a bunch.
What?
But you actually have to give the Iowa coaching staff credit for the adjustments they made. The match adjustments between match 1 and match 2.
What do you think they told them? Because what would you have told them?
I'm not sure, but he made good adjustments. I
think he just took a few less attacks, because he did score off a few of Daton's scrambles, but I think it was more opposite, right? Daton scored more off of Thomas's shots than Thomas scored off his own shots. Is that sorry? Did I say that confusing, or you got that?
No, I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
So because in match 3, obviously, like in the second period, Thomas scored off that one that was so weird how he had the leg up and he kind of falls backwards, and Daton just held on, which I thought all Daton had to do was let go and he wouldn't have given up any points there, which that was kind of bizarre. But then Gilman shoots again.
He pulled the leg over the back. Yeah, it was just an odd sequence.
So, and then obviously in that last scramble was off of Gilman. Gilman's winning 3-3, takes a shot, and Fix is able to get the takedown off the scramble. I saw some people saying it wasn't a takedown because Gilman still had the leg. And man, honestly, I would say it's close. The one thing in freestyle, I know the terminology because I've got yelled at by so many refs. Fix was covering the hips. That's what they're looking for. His hips were all the way over Thomas Gilman's hips, and that's kind of in freestyle. That's what they quantify as a takedown. So that's for a lot of people that aren't as well versed. There is the interpretation on how a takedown is scored in folk style and freestyle slightly different. So what, to your point, covering your hips is the qualifier in freestyle. Yeah, covering the hips, and so it doesn't matter if they have your leg. And that's like the one situation that happens a lot that's opposite of that is, if say they're either underneath you and maybe they have like a high crotch or a head outside, and you step around and hook their leg, but your hips are still out to the side of theirs, you will not get a takedown in freestyle. Whereas in folk style, most of the time, that is considered a takedown.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. So, so I thought it was a takedown. I thought Fix looked good. I'm happy for him. I think him and Gilman is still really competitive next year. I think this
that's the thing. That's what I thought. Like, one, I picked Fix going into this. I thought he wrestled phenomenal. I think he's a medal. He could possibly be a gold favorite. Nothing this guy does would surprise me.
I don't know enough about the world level people to make accurate comments. So
we'll definitely have to start digging into that. But what he showed and the way he beat Gilman, and I'll say this about Gilman: I thought this was the best Gilman I've seen. I don't think he looked off. I don't think he looked off his game, ill prepared, bad weight cut, you name it. I thought he looked phenomenal.
Yeah,
I thought he wrestled great. It came down to it was like Groundhog Day. They kept getting in the same situations over and over and over and over again. Yeah. It was amazing to watch both those guys trying to figure out, Gilman trying to figure out how to score, Fix trying to figure out how to counter and score, and just the back and forth. I mean, just I was blown away. I was blown away by the scrambles that they got in, and the level of scrambling. That's another piece of discussion we can talk about. I don't know if we can talk about it today, but later the level of scrambling and the development of scrambling by our freestyle athletes has just gone through the roof in the last.
You have to. I mean, because at the world level right now there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You have to be able to do it to be competitive. And I think one of the things you're also saying here is, and kind of we mentioned it earlier, but if you look at our weight classes, Matt, we're competitive, multiple guys deep at the world level. I mean, Thomas Gilman, world medalist on the bench. Joe Colon, world medalist on the bench. Yanni just beat the world number 1 on the bench. Isaiah Martínez beating Jordan Burroughs, but can't beat him enough on the bench. Derringer, Dake, they're both world level. 86 would be our one where we're not sure Downey's there yet. 92, Cox definitely is, and I wouldn't be surprised if Nickel could compete at the world level. 97, maybe not so much. And then, heavyweight, Stevenson is right on the heels of Gwizdowski, and Gwizdowski's a multiple-time world medalist. So we are deep, really deep right now, and it's going to be, especially as we condense these 10 weight classes into 6 for next year. Oh man, some of these weight classes are going to be tough.
But we have to be excited. I mean, overall, so
I'm excited.
Folks,
are we going to Are you and I going to Nur Sultan?
It's happening.
Okay, I'm looking at Kazakhstan on my map right now. It is the city formerly known as Astana. Unless I, for some reason, have like a title fight in, say, October.
I was going to say.
That would, I think, be the only preventative measure. So, yeah, I should figure out about that in a couple weeks. But other than that, I don't see anything stopping us. I think we'll wait for the schedule to come out. We'll go to wrestle Nur Sultan. And maybe, we could maybe take my vlog guy and make it a RUDIS vlog. And we could follow all of our world team members around. I think we'd have a great time.
Let's do that. I'm in. I'm definitely going.
I'm in.
I want you with me though. I want you with me.
That'll be so much fun. Where else can we stop? Yeah. Could we? I mean, I'm sure there's no direct flights from Chicago to Nur Sultan. I can't even fathom that.
I mean, one of the thoughts I had, and this came from Anatoly when we interviewed him a couple weeks ago. Open invitation to stop in and visit the Bela Glazov Academy. I don't know if that would
Petersburg?
work. Yes.
Yeah, or somewhere close to there.
Close to there. Okay. Yeah, that would be awesome. But we definitely, I mean, if that's not a quick trip over there, so you might as well break it up a little bit. Maybe see something for a day or see a different wrestling culture would be cool.
That would be fun. Okay, Matt, I'm done. We're done for the day. Next week we'll probably talk about the whole Final X process, maybe the depth of the American team. Possibly the scrambling, how that has just gone up levels and levels, and it's fantastic to watch. And I am headed we got the Badgers team camp started tonight, so I'm headed over there. That should be fun. And I will talk to you next week.
First week of camp.
So we have AWA camp starting tomorrow, but Max and I are also helping with the Wisconsin Badgers team camp. So we got a busy couple weeks.
Cool. Well, have fun with that. We'll catch up soon.
All right, sounds good. See you later, Matt.